The days of easy money are over, and there are bigger players who basically control the market, whether that is traditional crypto companies or whether that is more of the institutional side. They know how to play the game. They've been involved for much longer, and they're always going to beat retail, and they're always going to make money from retail. And I think what happened is the futures market got oversaturated. There was an opportunity for these players to make money, and they took it, in essence.
So do you feel like there's been no kind of like catalyst or general like market correction that was needed, and it was purely a play from like the whales and the smart money to push price down to get the guys liquidated?
I mean, if it was a market correction, I think we wouldn't have seen as strong of a bounce back. I think a lot of, well, Bitcoin, ETH have been climbing since then. I haven't looked at the charts today or yesterday,
True.
but like they've recovered very strongly. You look at what happened with Binance and with other exchanges, your average trader wasn't able to purchase any assets. And then you see that BlackRock, it's not confirmed yet, but apparently they bought a bunch of Bitcoin during the market lows. I'm not necessarily saying they orchestrated it because I don't want to accuse anyone, but I do think they at least had plans in place for this, and they're not complaining by the market dump. And it definitely is a correction. I think there was too much money flowing in futures. People, of course, are saying that it's the biggest sort of liquidation event in crypto, bigger than FTX, bigger than COVID. But having said that, when you look at the actual percentage of the market, this is only the third biggest, I believe, when you look at the percentage of the market versus the liquidations. It's partially a correction because people were just throwing money into futures nilly-willy, but I do think there's more at play than meets the eye.
I mean, this event made me think about like, I think more like 2022 when prices started to go down, like a 30% drop was, I wouldn't say like it's unusual, but it happened a little bit more back in the days rather than now. And I think the last time we've seen a 30% drop from a specific level was maybe March when the price was going down. It's been quite a long time since we've had a correction, so we might be overdue as well at the same time.
I'm not saying it wasn't a correction, but I think corrections typically, they don't happen, they're not like flash dumps to the same level. Like you might see a big cascade, but it's normally like progresses over time. This, I wasn't awake when the crash happened, just because I'm in APAC, but it seems to have been more of like an instant out of nowhere cascade. There was no real time to prepare. I remember when when it was Elon Musk said that Tesla's not going to accept Bitcoin anymore. There was that initial crash, but then there was like a period of time, maybe a day or two, where the market continued to dump. It wasn't like a V shape. It was more of like a U shape. So that's like, my perspective on it.
Yeah, the two other things that were interesting is Ethena went down at the same time as well. And I think this is what someone said, is like, I think EUSD can now be held as collateral for perpetuals trading. And if that one depegs as well, your collateral devaluates, and that triggers a lot more liquidation at the time. I think it went down to like say 20% or something. Do you know anything about like what happened with Ethena, EUSD on that one?
I haven't looked too much into it, but it's definitely interesting. I think the funny thing about Ethena is it is like more of a business than other crypto projects. There is revenue being made. Ethena seems to have a stable mechanism, but the fact that Ethena dipped so much when really and truly none of the fundamentals of Ethena changed, the business didn't suddenly produce bad earnings. If you're looking at like a Web2 world, it does show you that there's still a lot of, how would I put it, the crypto market and the traditional markets, whilst they do follow each other in some sense, are still very separated in actual like market price action.
So and it's the same with USDT, USD depegging in any way, right? Like as long as there's still over collateralization of the stable coin, there shouldn't be an issue. If you can still redeem one-to-one to the actual asset, there shouldn't be a depegging needed, because that means there's a lot of ARB. And I don't think within their system, for staking and unstaking Ethena, I don't think there was any problem there, but it was a problem on the exchange where price went down a lot. The other interesting thing, I don't know, I posted about this the other, I think a day ago, about Hyperliquid and the Hyperliquid vault, where people can provide liquidity for the whole platform. It's interesting how the P&L of that one shot up like crazy during the time of all these liquidations and the amount of volatility. And the cool thing is that like normally market makers profit insanely from these highly volatile things, but retail can do it as well by providing liquidity on Hyperliquid. And I think there were just so many liquidations happening that vault was just, generating so much profit that was, off the back of all the retail being over leveraged. Have you checked the vault? Or are you invested in the Hyperliquid vault? Or
I haven't invested personally, but I did see your post and it did get me like interested in investing. I think ultimately the exchange or the part, the exchange basically always wins in trading. Like you look at how many people get liquidated. I know there was a massive cascade, but even on like a normal basis, it's like more than 90% of traders lose. And what Hyperliquid has done is it's basically democratized the opportunity for people to, in essence, be the liquidity or the LP for the exchange. And I do think it's interesting that those returns were shared with the community and that the APY did spike. I am curious about how much of an impact that would actually have across, let's say, an annual period in terms of, I know the APY spiked, but let's say it spiked for one day only. How much more profit will people who had money in the vault actually get from that spike over the period of a year? Is it actually going to be negligible, or is there going to be like a significant increase in the amount of money made by people providing liquidity?
I don't know. I know that the APY, at least from last month, was around like 7%, and right now it's spiked up to over 100%. So it is not like I think the stable APY is around 7-8%, while this spike, made it up. So I think the average will probably come down to like 12% this year if these things happen. Well, if it happens more, like that's good profit for the people that invested, right?
Yeah. Out of curiosity, has the APY dropped down yet? Do you know, or is it still sort of at the 160% range?
To be fair, I don't know how the APY, they don't have like a dynamic APY where you can select a specific period or see like, the past 7 days, past 3 days or something. It's just, I think, a specific period. The UI of that is not that great.
Okay.
But I think it dropped down, yeah. I think most of the money there is being made out of like liquidations and the slippage happens on those, plus the general liquidity provisioning. If volumes spike as well, I haven't checked the volumes on Hyperliquid. There's still a lot of money to be made, but otherwise it goes down.
Yeah, I am curious to see how much volume there will be in the futures market now as well, with so many people being liquidated. Was it mostly retail? Is it more institutional? Do people still have money to actually trade?
I think it was 20% of the open interest was gone after this event. And I've yet to see it go back. I use Coinalyze. I don't know if you know that tool to check on the open interest aggregated by all the platforms. I think it went down to from like 130 billion to around like 90 or something, or 120 to 90, something like that. But yeah, it was crazy.